Hello and welcome to the agenda. I am Ajay Kaul. In this program today we will discuss how China is trying to bully Bangladesh. China has picked up a fight with Bangladesh by trying to bully it. China unnecessarily issued a warning to Bangladesh against participating in the Quad grouping, which comprises India, the US, Japan, and Australia. Bangladesh has hit back strongly, but this development leads to questions over China's behavior. It also leads to questions as to whether China is scared of the Quad grouping. We will try to analyze this subject in the agenda today. We have with us retired diplomat Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, who has served in China and also as the spokesperson of the External Affairs Ministry. From Dhaka, we are joined by A.K. Faizul Haq Raju, who is a member of the International Affairs Committee of Bangladesh's ruling party, Awami League. But before we begin our conversation, have a look at this small report.
China has warned Bangladesh against joining the Quad grouping of India, the US, Japan and Australia. Chinese ambassador to Bangladesh, Lai Jiming, issued an unusual warning to Bangladesh that if it participated in the Quad Club of Four, it would result in substantial damage to bilateral relations. But Bangladesh refused to take it lying down and reacted sharply. Bangladesh Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen said his country will decide what to do according to its own principles. Momen asserted that Bangladesh is an independent and sovereign country and it decides its foreign policy on its own. At the same time, Momen said no one from the Quad has approached Bangladesh yet to join the grouping. Initiated in 2007, Quad or Quadrilateral Security Dialogue has been evolving over the years. It held its first ever summit-level meeting just 2 months back after Joe Biden took over as the US President. The main publicized mandate of the Quad is to ensure free and open navigation in the Indo-Pacific against the backdrop of China's growing aggressiveness in the region. There are possibilities of some more countries associated with the grouping because of the shared interests. There has, however, been no talk of Bangladesh joining the grouping, which makes the Chinese warning unnecessary. China sees the grouping being aimed at containing it. The communist country has been viewing Quad as military alliance and terming it as a mini NATO. Perhaps it is unknowed by the grouping's evolution. Bureau Report.
Now let's welcome our guests, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash and Faizul Haq Raju from Dhaka. Welcome to both of you. So I'll first go to Ambassador Vishnu Prakash about China's bullying tactic on Bangladesh. So how do you see this picking up a fight over Quad?
Greetings and nice to be on the program with you.
Thank you.
Our northern neighbor China is just being China. They do not understand democracies. They do not understand that every country has its own aspirations or its own policies. And they are used to bullying nations. That is what they do.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of an anecdote where the proposition was that what is your opinion about inflation and the price of meat? And 3 hands went up. One was Japanese, and the Japanese asked, what is the meaning of inflation? And then there was another hand went and said, what is the meaning of it? And then there was a Chinese friend whose hand went up and he said, what is the meaning of opinion? So, I mean, that is actually the case with them. And given the Chinese, let me also say that, big powers are prescriptive.
Yeah.
But in case of China, it is also tinged with a lot of arrogance. So it's typically Chinese behavior that the ambassador of the country can, from the public forum, say what was said by the Chinese ambassador. It is very unusual.
Yeah, very harsh words used. So I'll go to Mr. Faizul Haq Raju. He's from Dhaka, joining us from Awami League Party. So Mr. Raju, why do you think, China is trying to bully Bangladesh? Why did China use such harsh? What was the provocation? I want to ask you. What was the provoking?
Well, thanks for inviting me once again to your news channel.
Our pleasure, yeah.
Yeah. Well, as you have asked this, I would like to answer it like this: that China is now a regional power and also a big global player in terms of strategic, issues, especially geostrategic and geopolitical issues. And Bangladesh being its closest neighbor, apart from India,
Yeah.
China happens to be also Bangladesh's largest trade partner and investment partner as well. So, given these facts, China surely tries to keep an eye on Bangladesh and its strategic activity. But the ambassador's remark, the Chinese ambassador's remarks on Bangladesh is anything but unfair, of course. But then again, as the Chinese ambassador, he can assert in his own humble way whatever he likes to say. But it has not gone unchallenged, as we have already seen that the foreign ministry and especially the foreign minister had.
Yeah. So as you mentioned that Bangladesh is a good neighbor and a trading partner with China and all that. But is it the way a neighbor should behave with another neighbor, even if it is a trading partner? I mean, as Bangladesh has rightly said that our policy is sovereign. We are a sovereign country. We can, do whatever we want.
No, definitely. No foreign country can dictate or prescribe as far as foreign policies are concerned. And we have made abundantly clear. And interestingly, as you know, that Bangladesh has not yet given its consent to joining any strategic military partnership or alliance, any country or any force or platform.
But what is Bangladesh's view on Quad? Is it interested in joining Quad?
I do not think yet that because there is no official acknowledgement on joining the Quad as such yet. And it is very unlikely also at the same time that Bangladesh will join, because Bangladesh has maintained a very clear-cut and prudent, policy as far as these kind of strategic partnerships are concerned. We have refrained ourselves from joining such alliances in the past. What Bangladesh likes to do is join the Indo-Pacific strategic platform for trade and commerce. And that's what we are actually looking forward to.
Okay. So,
and it has been categorically made clear.
Okay. So, Ambassador Prakash, you heard the voice from...
I could not hear him because the audio didn't reach me. But anyways, I can hear you well.
So, he was trying to basically say that I was asking him whether Bangladesh is interested in joining Quad. He says, no, we are not interested. Bangladesh is not interested. But maybe for trade and commerce, we can join some platform in the Indian Ocean. But I want to ask you about, as you have been in China and you understand Chinese maybe mindset also, is China...
I do not understand Chinese mindset. Nobody understands Chinese mindset.
No, maybe you know more, since you have worked there.
No, I would like to join one more thing here.
Yeah, please.
China is not known for interfering with any other countries' internal policy until recently. But they may now have
now it has become more aggressive. Yeah.
And also the South China Sea, policy and the situation there may allow them to forge further strategic partnership with its neighbors.
Right. So, Ambassador Prakash, I want to ask you, why is China scared of Quad? Because earlier also it has called Quad as the mini NATO and all those things. So is it scared, or is it trying to scare away other partners who may possibly join Quad? What is your view?
That's a very good question, Ajay, and I think it's a bit of, I won't go so far as to say they are scared, but certainly there are various elements. You remember they initially called it a sea foam, which will dissipate very soon.
Yeah.
And
Bubble.
then as the Quad evolved, Quad had almost come to a end in 2008, and then almost direct proportion to Chinese behavior, Chinese aggression, Chinese land grab, Chinese ambition, the Quad countries or Quad evolved. It went to foreign minister level, and on 12th of March we had the first leadership summit.
Right.
And while China has not been named, let's be realistic. What is the major threat to peace, stability, rule of law, and open navigation, free navigation in the Indo-Pacific region? I mean, there are no prizes for guessing. So the very fact that increasingly China comes across as a hegemon, as a bully, increasingly every neighbor of China has problems because, whether it is Japan, whether it is Australia, Canada, USA, Vietnam,
Philippines,
Taiwan, India, even Bhutan.
Yeah.
I mean, so countries after countries realize that there is a challenge. And more countries, including European countries, are now signing in for the Indo-Pacific vision. So that is, China does realize that there is going to be a pushback, and they are trying very hard to fracture that kind of an understanding that is emerging. Now, they are using different tools for different people. When it comes to a neighbor like Bangladesh, it is our neighbor. We are very proud of our relationship with Bangladesh. They are using tactics, crude tactics. So that is very Chinese, and Bangladesh has responded with a lot of maturity because it's a very mature nation. And the foreign minister himself has said that, look, we are an independent country and we take foreign policy decisions on merit. I mean, that's how democracy is functioning.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, Bangladesh was quick in reacting harshly and strongly. But as you mentioned about the bullying tactics, I mean, China has been trying to, I'll say, wean away our neighbors, whether it be trying to Bhutan, applying different yardsticks, Nepal, applying different yardsticks. And recently they held a meeting also with the leader of members of SAARC countries also, separately keeping India away. So what does it tell you?
Well, it is a reality. Sorry, is it for me? Or
yeah, it's for you.
Yeah, it's a reality. China, let's face it, China is a rising power. It has a lot of economic heft. It has a tremendous amount of military muscle. And, they have a foreign exchange reserve of $3 trillion plus, and they are using their money power. And if I was a neighboring country, whether I was from Bangladesh or Nepal or Bhutan, not Bhutan as of yet, or any other Sri Lanka, I will do the same because I need development.
Yeah.
I need to ensure that my quality of life in my country improves. I will engage. And even if we want to, we cannot keep China out of the region. How can we keep it out? They will certainly build their bridges, but there is a very big difference between India's relationship and China's relationship. India has civilizational ties.
Right.
I think we not that we don't commit mistakes, we also commit mistakes, but we at least understand our neighbors. We are fellow democracies, but this language and this culture is alien to China. And you remember how the Chinese ambassador had walked up to Prime Minister Oli and told him that he should resign.
Right.
How the vice minister from China had come and tried to.
So they were openly interfering there, dictating rather in politics there in Nepal.
Yeah, because if you are a country, they are not capable of a relationship of equality. They believe in a subordinate relationship. That is, I'm not disclosing anything new. That is Chinese.
Right. So, Mr. Raju, I come to you about, you heard Ambassador, and we know China trying to, bully neighbors into submission. So, they, I think, have been trying to do that maybe through debt, through loans with Bangladesh also. So, but Bangladesh has been doing very well economically. So, does Bangladesh really need China's loans and debt to get into that debt trap? What do you say on?
Well, to answer your question, I would like to say that Bangladesh will very unlikely to get itself entrapped by any offerings of trade loan or investment loan, because Bangladesh maintains a very stable image of repaying its debt, be it the World Bank, IMF, or for that matter China or any other investment platform. But having said that, I would like to also reiterate the fact that Bangladesh will follow its own foreign policy, which is friends with all and marriage to none. And we have been pursuing this ever since our very inception in 1971. Bangladesh at the moment is chairing some of the international large alliances and trade platforms also. So our focus is to emancipate our people and make things better for the country. And in the process, of course, China comes in, because China, being Bangladesh's largest trade partner and investment partner, will always look forward to working with China. But we shall also be equally cautious in dealing with China, because
so I'll have to stop you. I'll have to stop you here. So, Mr. Haq, I come to you, Mr. Raju. As you were talking about, they are saying that Bangladesh is very cautious. So, but do you think there is an attempt by China to get Bangladesh into a debt trap? Because it has done it with so many other countries. So, is there an attempt by China? Do you think so, Mr. Raju? Can you hear me?
Oh, are you asking me? Okay.
Yeah.
China can play its cards as per their own policies and strategy.
So what I am asking is China? Do you feel that China is trying to do that? By some months back, they had offered $1 billion of loan, and
it would be too early to comment on such issue at the moment. But I'm sure that we are being highly cautious and we are very meticulous in this case. So we'll have our own calculations and go ahead with the developmental works that we are at the moment pursuing. And our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, one of the top leaders. We are a small country, but we are not a small economy anymore. And in terms of leadership, she has displayed her leadership quality, her dynamism, and magnanimity. So it's all there. So
but as Ambassador Prakash was saying, that any country would like to have development and need money. So does Bangladesh need financial support from China for development?
Well, we have been taking Chinese assistance in the recent years, and there are quite a large, projects that are being developed with Chinese assistance and partnership.
Yeah.
For example, the largest bridge in Bangladesh, the bridge, is being constructed with the assistance of China.
Yeah.
It's almost near completion. So there are quite a number of projects, and it's reciprocal, as you know, also, because Bangladesh is also helping Chinese economy when it buys from China, and the volume is the of some almost 15 to 20 billion dollars. So Bangladesh has its importance in Southeast Asia, and of course to China also. And the ambassador's assertions from the Chinese ambassador, is of course, I would say it implies the fact that China attaches its importance to Bangladesh.
Okay.
The case here.
So, Ambassador Prakash, I come to you. As you heard, if you heard Mr. Raju, he was saying he has been very careful about using words, but he is clear that Bangladesh has a very mature leadership and they are not going to fall into any debt trap. Any relation has to be on equal footing. But what is your view? Is China trying to get Bangladesh also into debt trap as it has been trying to do with so many other countries?
Why will China not try? I mean, that is the national mission of China. But proof of the pudding is in the eating. Bangladesh is one country in South Asia. And I'm proud to say that as a neighbor and as an admirer of Bangladesh, that they have, look at their social economic indices. They are the best in South Asia. Look at their economic growth rate. And why does it happen that when you take loans and Chinese loans don't come cheap, a country gets into debt trap because they do not use the loans for genuine infrastructure projects. They use it for prestige projects. In case of Bangladesh, they are investing it very carefully in sectors which are productive sectors, where there are returns. So I'm no expert on the Bangladesh economy, but as an observer, I see that they are handling it very well. And, that is the reason why they are doing very well economically. So,
and India has also been giving a lot of assistance and maybe partnership through trade and other things with Bangladesh, isn't it?
No, because we have a historical relationship with Bangladesh, and we were one country at one point in time. We have cultural links. We have always, the vision for India has been that we want to be that lake where all the boats can be lifted. We want to carry the region along.
Right.
Because if the region is developing along with India, then there is a mutual stake in development, and we want to be that kind of a tide. And Bangladesh has, the progress that Bangladesh has made under the enlightened leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is admirable, and something that, even India has to learn a few lessons from them.
Okay, we have to wind up. One last question to Ambassador Vishnu Prakash about Quad. How do you see its future? Brief comment, maybe.
Well, Quad is a necessity. It's a geopolitical necessity. I'll again be upfront. Nobody is talking of containing China, and China cannot be contained. But there has to be some respect that China has to show for the rule of law, rule of engagement, international norms, treaties. So the Quad hopefully will become a forum where like-minded democratic countries come together, and in case China engages in excesses, they can push back and basically convey that no, Mr. China, I mean, you are a member of the Committee of Nations, you have to follow some rules of engagement.
Right. That is a necessity. The China must follow the rules, international rules. But the time of this program today is over. I thank you, both of you, for participating in this interesting debate.
Pleasure.
This is all in the agenda today. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with another important topic tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.